Welcome to our channel Live a new life every day. AITA for not supporting my dad and my friend's new relationship. I cannot believe I actually have to post something in here, but I think I need a bit of clarity for my current situation because I really don't have anyone else IRL to talk to about it. I am 21F and attend college about 6 hours away from my hometown. Unfortunately, my mom passed away at a young age and my dad, 48M, has been a single father to me for the past 8 years. My dad hasn't dated anyone seriously throughout the years as he seemed to constantly indicate that all he wanted to focus on was being there for me. I have always encouraged him to put himself back out there, and when I left for school, I encouraged this even more as he would be an empty nester. Since my freshman year of high school, I have had a really close friend, 21F, that has always been there for me and I have spent a lot of time with. She attends a more local college that is only about 20 minutes away from my hometown. This all started this past spring break, March, when I went home and noticed that my dad was texting someone fairly regularly. I also saw the name that was texting him once and I did not recognize it, but it was a woman's name. This is not common for him, so I figured he may be finally sparking up his love life after all these years. I did not say anything about it because I didn't want to make him feel weird or uncomfortable about getting back out there. He seemed happy and I was happy on the inside as well for him. I said my goodbyes and went back to school. A few weeks later, I just so happened to be looking at Find My Friends when I noticed that my friend was at my house. I thought this was strange since she doesn't live necessarily close by. It will sound naive at this point, but I honestly did not think that much of it. About a week went by and I decided to came home one day early for Easter in April because I had just a feeling that something was strange and to try and catch my dad off guard a bit. Everything was normal and he was very happy to see me. I was planning on seeing my friend the next day for lunch. My dad and I spent the day together and then started watching a movie. Then it happened. I saw an incoming text on my dad's phone and it was from my friend. This was all I needed to see to place the last piece of the puzzle together. My dad was going out with my friend. I was feeling pretty sick the next day, a little bit of faking to avoid the situation, and I also just felt a bit uneasy about it all. It felt like a layer of trust was broken and the other external details, such as their age gap and the already existing dynamic, made me cringe up a bit as well. After 2 days at home, I took the next train back to school. I told my dad that I really had to ace an exam coming up, so I had to get back. I needed to leave the situation and think. After thinking, I came to the conclusion that I am not okay with this relationship. I did not want my individual relationships that I had with each blended into one. I thought it was a bit gross, and above all the fact that they knew they had to be sneaky validates my feelings that they should know better. I waited until finals were finally over a few weeks ago and finally called my dad and told him that I know and what my thoughts are. He sounded very upset on the phone, sad, not at all angry, and told me that he understood and wanted to talk about it the next day so that he could think. I have no clue what he was telling my friend, but I did not have any contact with her about this throughout these initial calls. The next day, my dad and I talked. He was very apologetic and understanding of why I was upset, but eventually came down and said that he would not stop seeing my friend. He said that they had been seeing each other since the end of last summer and have become attached to one another, and he was not ready to forfeit his first real connection that he has felt in so many years. I held my ground and told him that I will not be seeing him or hanging out with him when I returned home for summer break until he ends this. It has been 2 weeks at home with basically no interaction with him or my friend, aside from a text from my friend every other day requesting to talk in person or on the phone about it. I did not respond to her texts or calls. Tonight it came to a head. I returned home from dinner with a friend to find my dad and my friend awaiting me in my house. This was the most unpleasant experience I have ever had with my father. It ended with him crying and him saying that I should understand because I know how hard it has been for him. He also pointed out that I have been deeply encouraging him to put himself back out there, so I have to have some sort of sympathy with him. After about 15 minutes of yelling, tears, and overall awkwardness, I stormed out and drove to another friend's house to stay for the night. I am too embarrassed to tell the friend I'm staying with the details/talk about why I left home or this relationship. So, I have sat here for the past few hours and wrestled in my mind with whether I am being too hard on them or if I am in the right. Am I the asshole here for not supporting this relationship or even tolerating it? Just a note, I have talked about zero details yet with my friend or dad about why they started going out or etc. I just know that it's been happening. I am sorry for how long this is, but I am very confused and don't know what to think or feel. Like, share your comments and subscribe.